Betway, Logitech G, and PaySafeguard.
Welcome back to day one here of ESL One Cologne. We are heading into, in my opinion, the best game of the day. We've got G2 Na'Vi coming up. We just saw Cloud9 dispatch of NIP in a 16-3, and also Astralis have a pretty easy game up against ENCE, although Glaive on Twitter claimed that they are apparently going to do big things in this tournament, and I would like to see that. But talking of teams that we don't really know what to expect of, let's get into G2, Harry. This is a new roster. These are the French boys back in town with a bit of Belgian spice. What are you expecting for this game?
Well, I'm excited. Let me tell you that much. Yeah? I love, some French roster shuffles. They're always iconic. And this team is pretty interesting. You see Smith's returning from previously, of course, in that coaching role. Now he's back in the hot seat once again. Going to be rejoining up with his good pal Kenny S and the gang. And then, then we also have Existence, IGLing. That's exciting for me. I've always been an Existence fan. I think he's very good. And now he's finally got, some good firepower once again to go behind that brain of his.
Well, that's the big thing as well, specifically with Existence, right? We've always talked, oh, this guy's so good at IGLing. We haven't seen him on the top team for so long. With LDLC, there's only so much you can do when your team isn't able to step up to the level that maybe you can call at. And that's always been the story of Existence. So it's kind of like now we actually have all the pieces there for Existence.
Yeah.
If this team doesn't do well, I'm not necessarily counting them out at this event, but in the future, if in 6 months this team still can't do well, I think it's going to be a big question mark. Like, okay, are we overrating Existence in the current meta? Is he still any good, or is he going to impress us, and this is team going to come out storming out of the gates with a lot of firepower and a lot of strategy up their sleeve?
Well, one thing I will say, I think these two teams line up against each other reasonably well for G2 at least. Is like,
really?
You kind of just have, over on Na'Vi, like Simple is really the guy that everyone talks about. Like he's out of this world good to the point where he makes up for the kind of team around him not having that as much firepower, we'll say. I saw that stat recently of him at events and how his rating was like a 1.76 on average or something, just unreal. 3 MVPs as well. He's just
for events he's not winning.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane statistics, right? Because it's the next nearest guy was Nico with 2 MVPs and a 1.46 rating, right? And we always say how good Nico is. So then you kind of look at it like that.
And Nico's on a team where everyone is insane.
Yeah,
well.
Exactly. But then you kind of look over at G2, and I think for someone like Existence, you can kind of try. I mean, obviously this is what all teams try and do. It's the hardest thing to do is nullify Simple, right? But I think this team, they definitely could. And you kind of look over at G2, and it's really going to be looking at Kenny, Body, and Shocks to do the brunt of the damage. And I think having that sort of 3-man star power that they have, they could definitely line up well.
I think this is the best map for this series as well. I think I'm going to enjoy this one. We've got Inferno here, Na'Vi on the T side. We've got G2 starting off with a triple B setup and a very heavy long play. If we see any apps control come out for Na'Vi, this could go pretty drastically wrong against G2 here, because while they've got the kit to retake, Inferno is a map known for difficult retaking, and Na'Vi already looking to pummel that A-bomb site that's pretty weak. Existence is spotting it up from Library, not taking too much risk here, as he does have the kit, doesn't want to lose that in the open. And Na'Vi, they're about to burst their way through the apartment and make contact to the A-bomb site. A minute on the clock, and these rotations have got to come in instantly.
Now, Existence reminding you of your teammates from MM when they try and jiggle peek. Kenny S going to be holding off long here. They have smoked it. They're going to be allowed to get by very easily. Existence going to try and connect something through the smoke. They haven't been able to find anything. So they're 5-on-5 in a retake of the A-bomb set over on Inferno, which is always a tall order. But 3 players down, but are up through mid. They're going to try and get the job done.
Yeah, fast movements here for G2. It has to be. And Smith has already opened up. First blood drawn, and Zeus looks to fire back. Try and pull this man advantage away from G2. He walks right past Body, and Body still hits a shot. What is going on? G2 have got a 5-on-3. This retake's starting to look good, but Na'Vi get aggressive. They take long control back. The bomb not planted for them. Flamey has to go huge. He has to be a hero here because they're already on the bomb. Body is off it. Flamey's hitting shots, and now they're again tapping it, but G2 are just crumbling. What is going on? I have no idea, Harry. They even win the... Oh, no, they don't. Kenny gets a final kill, but it's going to be Na'Vi winning that round with the bomb timer just going off. That is a mess of a retake. That's why Inferno is so difficult to retake there. I mean, Na'Vi don't even have control of the bomb. They're pushed up on long, but one player, Flamey, he keeps them alive. He delays them long enough that he can just play that defuse, and there's no way G2 can stick it when there's a man in the pit.
It's always the men in the pit. That's what they say.
Do they?
I think that's a saying.
Yeah.
I think it's an iconic saying.
We'll go with it.
But I'm not entirely sure. We can see a couple of Mac 10s out for Na'Vi. Electronic and Zeus could be fielding them. Flamey on at MP7. So they have a few rifles as well. Kenny with this scout going to look to try and do the damage down through mid. He does spot Simple and Smiths. He's going to deliver. Smith's killing Simple in 2018. If you told me that at the start of the year, I'd be like, nah, that's mental.
That's first blood in 2 rounds as well.
Yeah,
that was one of the big question marks for this team. It's like, can Smiths perform? Because we haven't seen him play at this level since, you know, obviously he joined the coach role. Like, that's been a while now. How long has he been a coach for G2?
I think it was 2016. He joined the coaching role.
Jesus. Time flies.
So, yeah, I mean, it's mental, right, when you think about it. But he's found the first pick. You know, curious smoke choice, but I'm going to head over here towards the A-bomb site, where right now there's one man, and that man is Kenny. He's down in the pit once again. Pitman, Pitmaster. I think that's American barbecue saying. Barbecue Pitmaster. But
I know that.
Yeah, there we go. Learning something new every day. Kenny from down in the pit. How much can he do? So many players coming his way, and Electronic just going to behead him now, leaving the pressure on Shocks, Smiths, and Body. And they're going to save. Yeah.
Nice delay play from Electronic. He just holds the angle. He lets his team dive out and just goes, okay, I've got you covered. You can, you know, not focus on the back of pit. I'm going to hit my shot, and he does. Stepping up here for Na'Vi. Their second round has been found, and guns have been saved. So at least some money being made. G2, of course, want to hold on to these guns for at least the time being and move forward in that next round with another opportunity to do a little bit of damage. But Harry, a scout, a deagle, a P250 with armor, it's not exactly a lot. So Na'Vi are already going to be on the hunt, or at least Zeus is, but I don't think he'll be overcommitting. He's got no teammates. I mean, he can just run in and die because it's only a Mac 10. It doesn't really matter, but he's not going to choose to do so. Just holds onto his gun, gives them the save, and yeah, Na'Vi take another clean round. So nice stuff to see. I say another clean round. They didn't have anyone surviving in that pistol, but inconsequential. Inconsequential. Is that
it?
Yeah. Second time lucky, they say.
So, Smith's obviously very talented on the piano.
Really?
Did you know that?
Is that actually a factor?
No, no, genuinely. He's a very, very talented piano player. I'm not even messing with you. So
that's
maybe,
incredible.
There's a few videos of it. I'll get one up for you after this match. We can admire Smith's, I was going to say finger work, but maybe not. Maybe I won't use that as the phrase.
Bit late.
Here he is over towards the B-bomb site with that scout. Going to go to rally off one shot. And then they're just going to stack this A-bomb site. I like the thinking with that. Because, you know, they hear the scout shoot on B. They know that was the only thing really kind of saved forward. And now they're like, maybe they've stacked B. But now the question becomes, will Na'Vi fall for that?
Ooh. Well, the second they spot all this presence here, they're going to start to question it. Edward opening up, but it's a quick trade and a double push back in for Kenny. Yes, they know Body's there, and Flamey dispatches nice and quickly. Line up for 2, and Simple, of course, he's going to steal away 1. He wants his frags as well. Na'Vi, they're going to walk right into the stack, Harry, but it is absolutely no problem. They lose an MP7.
Yeah, but now this buy comes in for G2. This is where we really get to see what this team is made of. They get to test their mettle. The one thing I liked was the statement from Existence saying how he wanted to be a good team. And I think it was like, what, like 2 years he said, or like a year or something
he
like
said,
that?
It was something, I feel like it was not a translation error, but like, I think a lot of people misconstrued what he was saying. He wasn't saying like, oh, I don't think we're going to be good for a year,
exactly,
but in a year, I want to be at our peak. I want to be like really, really good. So obviously this team's going to take time, and even if they struggle here in Cologne, it's like, it's one of their first events. You know, we can kind of, you know, same as ECS, we kind of just like, whatever. Yeah. You know, that was like a week after they actually made this roster, so of course they're going to be bad in terms of as a team. You know, they've not had the time to gel. And I'd even say to this event as well, a similar extent, although I'd hope for a little bit more from this roster. And of course, with the names they have in it, with the firepower, you would really assume that G2 should be getting quite a few wins here in Cologne. But let's find out, because Na'Vi started things off well.
Shout out to to Kirby with this cam path, obviously. He set this up himself.
As shaky as he can be.
Yeah, here we go. Something goes down outside of the B-bomb side. Flamey. On the other side has to be careful. Just, they're going to re-smoke it, and there we go. Flamey, the bullet magnet, soaks up the first couple of shots from Body. Now the smokes come raining in, and the pressure falls on a Shoxy to try and hold back. Na'Vi, 4 players about to go walking into the moors of G2, and it's Body in with a quick double. He's managed his second of the round. He's going to go ahead and tuck himself away over an emo. He has this crossfire set up with Shocks. They know there is another man here. Zeus going to go ahead and find that frag, now leaving Body in the hot seat. rotations coming through, but
Wow.
he gets beheaded as Smiths and Existence left 2v3.
And that was such a nice play from Body as well, not overcommitting to the duel, just delaying, allowing time to G2 to set up for that, well, not even retake. They were hoping to hold on to the site. They had a 5-on-3, but Zeus with a couple of big kills and simple grabs, another one. He's even looking for Existence. It's free. And now it's just one man left up. The man we've all been talking about, Smiths, not a doable retake. No kit in his hand currently, and Na'Vi with the bomb already half ticked. They can just run for the hills, or at least Zeus should, because he's low. And Edward's going to go chasing in the CT spawn, but Smiths had the angle. And even though he gets a kill on the exit, it's still Na'Vi to win the round. And I mean, look at Simple. This is as hunty as you can get, and I love it.
Yeah, he loves a frag, this Simple. Getting a hunt of Smith, spots him out.
Oh, hello. Smith has actually looked really good.
He just keeps wrecking Simple.
I know we're 4 rounds in, and I don't want to be like
yeah.
overhyping, but Smith has been winning his duels. That's all I'm going to say. He's been getting scout shots. He's been rifling well. And even though it's early days, it's like when you start off a game doing well, you're likely going to continue that on at least for the half.
I just like it as well because it's so nostalgic. Like, you know, seeing Smith's back in. One thing I also love, actually, and while we're talking about how times have changed, is the transition of like Simple from, you know, just like this, you know, like master troll and like just a kind of like, you know, people didn't enjoy playing with him that much because he's, you know, it was quite
emotional.
Well, I was going to say more like outspoken in his old teams, but now he seems like such a class act. You know, like every interview he's like just the right amount of cocky, where it's like you don't hate him for it, but then
I want more.
No,
I want more cockiness. I don't want old Simple back, but I want the. Like he's the best player in the world. I want a bit of arrogance with it.
Because
show me something.
I
he's
love
very
it.
humble.
Like in his streams and stuff. Like that's where you get some like just untamed Simple. That's where you have to go. But for G2, they certainly don't want an untamed Simple. They want him to be as tame as can be right now. Sadly, I don't feel like he's going to give them that.
Already starting things off. Na'Vi are in the apartments here on this round. They've been taking apps control pretty much every T-side round. And that's been a bit of a nuisance for G2. It's allowed these splits to the A site and also constant pressure on mid like we saw on that third round. But this time the bomb's going up towards B, where only 2 players of G2 are sitting. That's Shocks and Body. Limited weaponry, of course, because they did lose that previous buy round with Smiths holding on to the solo rifle. He's down in the apartments, or at least on the balcony. But Na'Vi just taking their time here. No rush. Get some map control. Try and work out where G2 are. This is a round that you're likely going to see a stack from a CT side, as they've already shown on these ecos before. So Na'Vi want to make sure that there are no little stacks catching them out or any kind of crazy setups here from G2, but it is pretty default. They've given up Arch, and this is going to allow for the wrap towards the B bomb site.
Yeah. And they're going to go pushing over here towards CT. Zeus. They're even going to spot out Kenny. They got Flamey in CT. The bomb's progressing up Banana. Smith's going to start to rotate down. Could actually catch this off guard as he's down in Banana. Electronic going to go out and find him. And now that bomb doubles back over towards the A bomb site they go. There is just Existence there to try and hold the fort. He's got his work cut out for him. 20 seconds, though. He remains undetected. Just as you said, Zeus going to go ahead and finish him off. Simple survives just barely by the skin of his teeth. Na'Vi in with their 5th round.
And a very dangerous decision to make, but a very nice mid-round call from Na'Vi, right? They get Flamey into the spawn, and then the second they catch Smiths on that mid-rotate, they instantly go, give up B. We have Flamey. He's going to catch rotations. We can, rally our troops back towards the A site where we've already got control because we're, again, so deep in these apartments. And you can just hold this apps control the entire round. You can use that to not only cut off rotations, but allow for Na'Vi to just split back into A, knowing that G2 are not going to be expecting a man just bursting out of the apartments out of nowhere. So a 5-0 for Na'Vi, a very strong start, but we do have G2 back with rifles, Harry. The first AWP for this map as well is up in the hands of Kenny. And lack of head armor, so Flamey keeps the SMG, but let's see how much he gets out of that one. It's Kenny posted up on short, Na'Vi again, initial banana control, and 1 man in the apps. MP7's
cheaper now.
1500.
So that's gonna be coming out more, I feel like. Very, very strong SMG.
I mean, Chris J really started the meta with that. Like,
he definitely did. He
even
rejoiced.
At 1700.
He saw that. He saw the patch notes come out, and he's like, "My God, what have they done? They don't know what they've just unleashed." Next, it's gonna be like, "Yeah, the scout, it's free." Just like do everything you can, just buff Chris J. But they're setting up to play towards this A bomb site. G2. It looks like they've misread this. Body gonna start to rotate off along with Existence. In through CT spawn, it's Smiths and Kenny S about to be tested inside of A. 50 seconds on that clock. The smokes and flashes going to start to rain in, and it's Kenny down in the pit. Has to try and make it work, and Electronic finds the opener. It's Smiths now, the man that we spoke about so much, the man who's just come back, being out of action for so long, and he does lose the fight versus Electronic. 2 entries for him. The bomb going to go down, and 3v5. Save call has to come through for G2, which is a pretty bitter pill to swallow, as Na'Vi now going to move up with a 6th round.
Yeah, they weren't even expecting that. Look at how hesitant Edward was to plant the bomb. They were still waiting for that 3rd player to peek out and catch them off guard. Very common to see those double site setups, so nice to see Edward at least check his corners. Electronic with a good double entry as well. It's been, I think, a bit of a rise of this Na'Vi team. We started to see, not that Simple stepped away in any sense of the word, but like we've seen more players step up to join him. Edward has been having some fantastic tournaments, both at Star Series and CAC in China. Obviously, Electronics really found his form recently, because when he joined this team, we kind of hoped for so much, and he was so underwhelming. But after a few months, he really started to fit into this this roster, and has looked really good as of late. So yeah, it's nice to see Na'Vi actually really find their footing. And Zeus is going to be hunting for kills down on this B site, but nothing will come through. G2 with a save, as you said. And they can drop over some guns as well, so they'll be okay when it comes down to money. We're going to see the buy, I assume, come through regardless. Although this could be a round for G2. They've actually called out a pause. This could be a round that they could throw in pistols on Smiths and Kenny, and then have that AWP come in next round. Or even the double AWP. That if we think back to old G2, they famously ran that with Shox and Kenny. Shox down on that B site constantly, and Kenny just trying to lock down long. So yeah, there's certainly a lot of options here for G2, but they're going to choose to double down, buy into this round. So no AWP will come through, I assume, unless Smiths has just dropped it over. No, he hasn't. So G2 going to stick with rifles, and now they're up against Simple and an AWP. Never fun.
No, that is it's never a fun thing to run into, is Simple on that AWP. I just, I love seeing Kenny on this map. I have so many good Kenny memories of him locking down long, but it feels like it's been a while, you know?
I mean short, not long, but yeah.
I meant long.
I mean, he locks down both. He locks down the map.
What a guy. There's just no stopping him. Short, long. If something's gone wrong,
medium.
He's the man to call. It is going to be 3 players once again over here at B for G2, which is curious. They seem to enjoy running this, and they're going to try and take control down Banana. So we haven't seen them do that. The only issue is Zeus is here by logs, and he could cause them a whole myriad of problems. Shock's going to find one, but he's not suspecting the second man. He's managed a 2nd kill before he goes down. Existence does get toppled in the meantime, now leaving Body here. Oh, on his lonesome, but a well-placed Incendiary has slowed this round down, given some time for Kenny to come rotating in and be the hero.
They've still not got the bomb, though. Na'Vi need to go back if they want to commit to this site, and Kenny's getting aggressive through the smoke. There's one been placed down from Body, so he can't actually find the kill, and in fact, Zeus gets the wallbang into it. So Na'Vi have somehow pulled themselves back into a man advantage, and they have the option of rotating back towards A. Banana's open. And Smith's posted down in 2nd middle to try and lock down any kind of wrap here for Na'Vi, but they just commit to Banana. They commit to this B bomb site, where Kenny S sits. Contact made from the back of the site, and they do have a Molotov for that position as well, but now the flank has come through. They spotted it. Edward is just getting tapped away by both players here. Wherever he goes, he can't catch a break, but there it is. Somehow gets his way into the B bomb site. Now they have to find Kenny here. 25 seconds on the clock. Kenny is going to go down. So will Smiths. It's Na'Vi again with another round.
This is fun. I mean, Existence still yet to put up a kill. That's going to be feeling pretty sour if you were looking forward to this G2 roster. That's one thing a lot of people also spoke out with the Existence, kind of saying how they didn't have confidence he could put up numbers. But then you look back at him in the other teams he played in, and he was the star power a lot of the times, as in when he was playing with LDLC. Yeah. He was normally the guy we kind of saw fielding some pretty decent stats and had to carry those guys a lot. It feels like maybe he's in a bit of an awkward spot in that sense. You know, it's like going to take some readjustment time back to the upper echelons of CS. But Kenny's already tagged up, and he's alone at B. G2 have this time opted for a 4-man stack inside of this A-bomb site. Flamey. Well, you check for Shoxy close. Body and Existence here. You feel like there's no way that these kills won't be traded, and there's Shox with the opener.
Simple's got to be careful as well. Does not want to give away another man advantage. G2 playing safe Counter-Strike, though. The smoke goes down in middle, and they give up the position on long. You don't want to hold a position after you've already shown the setup, because Na'Vi are going to expect it and likely pre-fire the angles. But no, G2 fall back into this 4-man A stack. And actually, as I say that, rotate Existence between the sites. So 3 here. Na'Vi going to have a little bit of an easier job, but they're still at a disadvantage. Although when you have Simple in your team, you're never really at a disadvantage. Every round is winnable. So let's see if Na'Vi can continue this streak, find their 8th round on this A bomb site. Nice crossfire setup from G2, and just caught on the timing. Shox moves away as Edward pushes through.
Smiths is someone to keep an eye on. They hear him flash himself up into apartments. And there's the frag found. Edward. It's going to fall. Shox as well inside of the bomb site. 5 seconds left, rather. Simple and Electronic left alive. Electronic's managed the burst. Shoxy back against the wall. Going to fall, and now it's Kenny in existence. 2v2 as the bomb goes down. Kenny tagged to a measly 20 HP. Going to be looking to the man who's yet to put up a kill. Existence to do the damage here in this retake. Electronic looking like he wants to take the fight, try and bait them into Simple as he's tucked away, and Existence leading the charge. Goes to check for Simple, does manage one, and now it's Electronic, but he doubles down. He gets the ace as well. And oh my goodness, all the kills go his way. Na'Vi managed an 8th round. And what a bloodbath this is, Hugo.
For 1 second, Simple is the most tilted person in the planet that Electronic lets them cross and kill him. Obviously, his barrel of his gun was sticking out, so Existence knew exactly where he was. Yeah. And Electronic, who was jiggle peeking long, just hid for the one period of time, the few seconds Existence slipped through. So timing almost loses Na'Vi the round, but Electronic, with the ace, saving the day. 11-3 for him right now, Harry. Having an absolute field day. So 8-0 for Na'Vi. G2 yet to put up a round. Existence finding his first kill, but it is not looking good here for the Frenchman. Short tactical pause from the CT side, over and done with, as we hope this map won't be. We want to see G2 actually put up a fight here, because this is not a good debut. While we had Ents get smashed by Astralis, that's a game where we go, okay, yeah, whatever, like we can deal with that. But G2, even with this being a new roster, should be on more than 0 rounds.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to remain in the middle here.
Well, you're very, very good at that. I was going to hark back to the whole "can he watch a short long" like meme, but there's no point. Here's Body up at the top of Banana with a deagle, and he has actually done some damage on a Simple there through the old plywood, the spam spot. I don't know if that is plywood or just, I don't know. I think it is just wood. But regardless of what material it is, he shot him through it. Hasn't been enough to deter Na'Vi, though. They still look pretty dedicated towards this B-bomb site. Body is really going to have his work cut out for him with Simple, Electronic, and Zeus there about to come his way. Some deagle antics going to be required here from Body. More damage done onto Electronic. Might now put the seed of doubt in the mind of Na'Vi.
And even the little things there. Electronic peeks the angle, and then he knows that Body with the deagle is going to pre-aim his position, so he ducks in anticipation of that pre-aim or pre-fire from the deagle. Only gets tagged instead and keeps his head on his shoulders, but this round is looking very good for Na'Vi. Again, the early setup towards A has distracted G2 enough to rotate players out of position, and now the only man on the B site will go down. Shox having to rotate back in, but the smokes are locking him out of the CT spawn and on the coffins. It's looking like another dead round for G2 as Na'Vi overcome this B bomb site. The only hope is that Shox can maybe drop the bomb through smoke, but that's asking for a lot. Smoke eventually runs dry, but the Molotov runs in instead, and Shox is just held back. Na'Vi are keeping up the pressure in this round. Yet to lose a man, yet to lose a round, Harry, and this does not seem to be a change.
No, it most certainly does not. Na'Vi gonna find a 9th here, and here's a little A Street update for you.
Yeah.
Right now, Snacks is top fragging for Mousesports.
No.
Yeah, he is being a complete and utter monster from what I've just gauged from seeing a few reactions here and there. Just got a very, very big 4K versus Gambit. And they're up 7-1 on Dust 2 right now.
12-3.
Yeah, he's having a game of his life, so be sure to check that out as well. It feels like these first few games...
Oh, absolute stomps.
Yeah, 9-0 for Na'Vi. Right now it's 7-1 to Mousesports. We had a 16-3 earlier on Nuke, or 16?
No, 16-5 to Astralis, 16-3 on the Cloud9 NIP game.
Yes.
So 2 stomps already, and 2 more stomps undergoing. What is happening here in Cologne? This is not the first day we expected. You know, ESL said they wanted to run that, like, they wanted to stop accelerated schedules. That goes very well in time with every game being quicker than it should.
Yes.
Well, 9-0, Na'Vi look to double digit this round. We've got a double setup in the apartments. I like this position. A wallbang comes in. It forces Kenny off, and the man clutching him tightly from behind, Smiths, falls back as well. No more hugging for G2. They give up the apartments. Kenny moves back in, but he's not got the same support on this very, very tight angle. He's got to be careful he doesn't get peeked from the right hallway. And getting peeked down a banana is Shox. Going to spot for some info, but does have a smoke to throw down just to hold back Na'Vi from committing. And it does look like the B site, again, seems to be the object of Na'Vi's desires.
Yeah, 50 seconds on that clock. They are setting up for this B side take, and there's only Shox here. G2 once again with a stack on the opposing site to where Na'Vi are. Time's ticking down, 35 seconds, and Shox holding close to the smoke. Rotations coming through. Body going to get here, but Shox has to perform, and he's going to manage the first. More players up close, but Body comes through to help out, and this could be G2's first round. They do lose out on one defender, but there's still more players rotating in. Kenny, Smiths, they're all arriving. Shox from atop oranges is going to do damage, and Smiths through the smoke. Onto Simple, flashes come raining in, and Flamey left in a 1v2. Only 7 seconds, the bomb dropped out in the open, there's no time, and G2, they're going to find themselves their first round here in round number 10. Still plenty of money for Na'Vi, they can afford to buy regardless. They're going to be feeling too bad, and a chance now to actually reset G2.
Yeah, and that's a weird round, right? Because Na'Vi have just been playing very, like, tactically sound CS. They've been going for good rotations, nice mid-round calls, at least on which site to hit, and just very standard stuff. But now, the second they run through a smoke, they lose a round. So you do question why Na'Vi would choose to go for that when there was enough time, but maybe just thinking G2 had enough utility to cycle. And that was the case, at least. 9-1, though. And yeah, I don't think Na'Vi are going to be too worried about that, but it's a bit of a, you know, bit of a tough, annoying round to lose, just running to through a smoke to your death, and Zeus is going to do exactly that this round as well. The smoke blooms post-mortem, and he's already going down. Kenny, yes, aggression, and the flicks we know and love. Edward's already dead, and he's straight out of there. Flamey can't trade that kill, because Kenny's already backed off towards the site, so Flamey has to look somewhere else for a frag. Just misses Existence peeling back through long. And Smiths has the angle to lock this down, but Existence is also moving in. Flamey's attention is drawn by that, and that allows Smiths to peek for the kill. G2 looking good for a second round in a row.
Still Simple. And electronic left, actually just Simple. He's going to pluck Kenny out from the sky. Drops the AWP, transfers onto an ACAM. With Simple still alive, you always have to believe just a little bit. Spot high Existence, and he's gone down. They call him Simple the Undertaker. 50 seconds on the clock, and wrap round from Smiths into apartments. He's now over at long. Short, rather. I like that from Smiths. You can see Simple, now that he's cleared out the pit. He's wondering where Smiths has gone. 30 seconds on that clock. That's something to keep an eye on. This time ticking down, and Simple desperate to try and find the man that was once inside of this bomb site.
Ooh.
He's just not there. The flash comes through, and Smith's going to win it out as he comes through the back line out from apartments, drops Simple, and G2 going to find themselves a second round. But that's a Simple effect. I mean, you still believe in him there. It's a 1v5. He finds those first two, and you start to think, you know, Simple's going to do a Simple thing.
On the initial push, I'm so surprised he neglected apartments, because we've already seen not only G2 be pretty heavy up on the balcony, but Smith's just got a kill from there that round. So not expecting that wrap back from Smith's. Very nice play. G2 do pick it up, Harry, but again, it's still a 9-2 to the T side of Na'Vi. G2 are really going to need every round they can get here. A 9-6 would be optimal. I mean, that is literally all they can get in terms of maximum CT rounds. But even then, that's a tough game to win, especially without pistol. So G2, bit of a struggle here, but they're starting to find their footing. They've warmed up now to the server. Kenny is still on that AWP, and Simple won't choose to go for it here. He's back on the rifle. I don't blame him after those couple of nice shots in the previous. And let's see if Na'Vi can shut down this comeback before it even happens. Because if you win around here, looking at this state of economy for G2, we've only got one man with cash. It's Smiths, the bank of the team. Everyone else really struggling when it comes down to the funds. So Na'Vi can easily put these players down to eco if they just win this rifle round.
Still, Smiths is the man to put the fun back in funds. Not really sure why, but he does. And he's over here in apartments. Once again, they're going to do this double up with him and Kenny. Ooh.
It's a nice reaction considering how much pressure Na'Vi have had in the apartments the entire game, but it's ironic that the one round they do it, Na'Vi are all in B.
They try boosting over that smoke. Body wants the head of the first man. Tags up simple. Electronic. They try to run boost him over. You have to admire the balls, but Body. Let's just go ahead and cut the head off the beast, really. Electronic going down. He's been the star in this, mate. In this game thus far for Na'Vi. And Smith's clearing out mid. That's going to free up players to rotate. He's going to be hot on their heels if they do execute into this B bomb site. Do you manage to keep your eye on Smith's up on that mini-map? He's getting so much information on the back of this, and he's even going to hear Zeus rotating away. Might just catch the timing onto him. Now, they're trapped in Banana. 3 versus 5. 35 seconds left. Na'Vi, a tall order.
They've got to move somewhere, and they've got to do it quickly, Harry. They've not got enough time to mess around in middle, trying to hunt for this flank. If they want to commit to A, go. 25 seconds on the clock. We've still got Smiths back in the apartment. He gives up all of this control, and I think Na'Vi might just have to save. If they're not going to push now, yeah, this round's over. They spent so much time assuming Smiths would be committing to that duel that now they've lost their opportunity to win the round. The bomb's down spawn. Flamey's hunting for anything on B, but it's a one round where G2 don't have money and they need to win it. They take it flawlessly, Harry. 5 players kept alive. Money now starting to build here for the Frenchman. And that is an awful round to lose for Na'Vi because that was totally winnable. Even with the picks going against them, you can still pull back a 5-on-3. And instead they spend far too much time focusing on a flank that wasn't really there. Smith just backed off after that kill onto Zeus.
Yeah, that is truly one Smithy boy, as he is the defining factor of that round. I think it's good seeing him have such a decent form, right? It would have been so bad if he just came back and was terrible, right?
Yeah,
it's
that would have really enforced the memes, I think.
I mean, I think people like they started to feel bad for him, right? I don't even think there was like memes. It was just like everyone was like, "Nah, it's a bit far." It feels more like bullying now, you know?
Why are you bullying me?
And now he's returned. Smith's revenge.
Oh no! Oh, Smith's got blocked by Kenny and Edwards still kills them both. He's scoped in with the AWP and Smith tries to run away from the flashbang, but he's so blind he can't even get out. That is an awkward fight to lose because now it's put Na'Vi in a fantastic situation. Existence back on the site, but Na'Vi are back in the pit and Flamey just trying to do the damage here. Even spots Existence climb up. There's no way he did not see him there. So they are going to be ready for this. Electronic finding more damage and Flamey catches Existence on the peak. It's just shocks in a 1v5. Does pick up 2, but surely this one is out of his reach.
Yeah, he's going to have to save. Running up mid, trying to run the gauntlet like that would have been a treacherous task indeed. Simple as you've got to find him at the very end. So Na'Vi, they reach double digits. They find themselves a 10th round. As that double play up into apartments that we've seen Smiths and Kenny try to run a couple of times now, it doesn't work out. It actually goes against them in quite a big way. As you say, Smiths couldn't exit, got stuck on Kenny. And with everyone all tangled up with one another, it's like that, what's the game? Twister, but with bullets and like as well. Not instead, as well. So, yeah, it's just, you know, it's a mess every time.
He's got his hands on the ceiling, his feet on the walls. He's going everywhere. You
know, finger in Kenny's mouth. And, you know, just gets wrecked. So, never fun. There's tactical pause, maybe that's what they speak about now. What are they going to do to switch things up?
Get out of apps. Just give it to Na'Vi at this point. It's been such a nuisance.
Or maybe, hear me out on this one, Hugo. You go for an aggressive peek into apartments.
Get a Mag 7 in there.
Because it worked for them in that one round that Smiths did it. Snuck all the way through, and that was the thing that did it. So maybe they look to try and repeat something like that. I mean, Kenny has his trusty AWP. Does he have a very good spawn, I wonder? He does not. He's going to go and lock down this B-bomb site all on his lonesome.
But he may need a little bit of help, Harry. 3 men. 4 now. No, now 3. In Banana. Na'Vi can't make up their mind. They are just holding on early, but they've dropped the bomb in spawn. Classic mistake. Happens all the time, in my matchmaking games at least. It's usually Electronic to really hold that bomb for the team. You see a lot of the time, but Simple can take it, especially when he has the AWP, because he'll not be the first man in. Kenny just holding down this site alone, and the issue is he's playing a contact role from the site, so he has no information. He's got to hit his shots, but of course that's what we rely on Kenny for. 2 kills already coming through. The smokes are landing, but the flashes are not blinding Kenny. He spots Zeus, there's a third, and even going for the no-scopes. A ballsy play from Kenny, but at least 3 will do it. It's Edward and Simple left standing here for Na'Vi, but they are standing on their knees, Harry, because they are being legged. I have no idea what I'm saying.
If you're standing on your knees, you're not standing, but here's Simple. He is a man we have a lot of faith in these sort of clutch scenarios, but with utility still up for G2, he's going to be in the back of the bomb site, 1v5, 1v4 rather. There should be no way, but Simple. Oh, you start to believe every time he manages one. He just gets the blood pumping to Simple. You know, you love him. But a 4th round for G2 locked in on the back of the AWPing prowess of Kenny S. Fantastic stuff. A chance now to go 5-10 at the end of the first half, which for a CT side is still a pretty grim scoreline. There is no denying it, but it's a nice recovery considering this was 8-0 at one point in time.
That is very true. It's a bit of a comeback, but again, it's one that relies heavily on that T side, and that's where we're really going to see Existence call out the big strategies, Harry, because he's certainly not finding the big kills. 1 in 10 on Existence right now. He is having a bit of a struggle in this first map, in this opening game for G2. And so we've definitely got to see that rise on the T side, at least strategically, if not individually. The AWP peeking down middle. Fun fact as well, if Molotovs are close to you, Kenny S is favoured in that duel because the smoke will bloom at a range. If you look at a molly, you know, through a molly standing right next to it, you're going to have better views than someone far away. Almost hits that flick as well. It's not a good start though. Not going to find the pick. Luckily enough, doesn't lose his head in the process. And Na'Vi again, pulling out a bit of pressure down towards this B bomb site. We've still got the Saps control reigning supreme, and this time it's just Smith playing that balcony. He hasn't got support from the AWP, does not want to be blocked and locked in, and I don't blame him. So Na'Vi giving up the banana control. They just wanting to show presence there, and it's the A site that we've kind of seen them stray away from in the past few rounds. They're going back to Old Faithful, Harry. There's 3 players here for the side of G2 looking to lock this one down, but Kenny, he is here, and he is the X factor for this team.
He most certainly is. He's such a tricky hurdle to overcome. Kenny flashed off the angle. Very, very lucky to still be alive. He's going to go back in, and now no. Smith's up in apartments, drops Flamey. It's Simple, Electronic, and Zeus. 3 versus 5, and 3 bodies inside of this A bomb site, and a body literally over in CT. Going to start to make his way back towards B. Smith's from mini pit players coming his way, does manage the first. It's Kenny and Existence to lock things down. They hold the fort. G2 find a 5th, and it's a 10-5 scoreline, Hugo. Now, a bit of an A-stream update for you as we approach the halftime mark. It's 13-4 in favour of Mouse Sports.
Blimey.
They're on the T side of Dust 2, and I think Gambit just won the pistol, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, they did. So there's a chance of them coming back there. Let's take a look at the Betway odds as well. I think that's pretty accurate right now.
I think you're giving a, you know, I don't think Na'Vi are going to struggle in the second half again, moving over to the CT side, and G2 already having a pretty tough game. It's so reliant on the pistol. If they don't win pistol, those odds are going to sway even more favourably for Na'Vi. Looking at the scoreboard though, Smith's 10 kills, top of his team, Existence still on 2. So let's see if G2 can find their form with this T side, the second half of this map, as we head into the pistol round. A fast banana play from 2 players, and also a second mid-hole, but Na'Vi are waiting for no one. They're getting aggressive, trying to force gunfights, and hey, we're even making a bit of an appearance in the pistol round ourselves.
Yeah, it's crazy scenes right here in the second half. Edward gonna get tagged up, doesn't want to go re-peeking back into that anytime soon. G2, slow round. Kenny with that bomb on his back, along with Smith at the base of Banana. The rest of the guys clearing out the apartments. 4 players for Na'Vi inside of A, leaving 1 man, and that's Simple here to defend B. He's about to get tested. We so often say Simple is the best in the world. This could be a showcase as to why. You never know. About to have 4 heads come his way. Can he get anything done? He's getting around that smoke. Tagged up, Existence opens, and that's Simple eliminated. The bomb going to go down inside of B, and it's a 4v5 retake. At this point, I'm not even sure. I think if in RV, you could actually just save the 3 sets of armor. That's pretty good.
I don't think there's really any point to do that. You may as well just go for it and at least look to try and get in this round. Maybe if you lose the first gunfight, you fall back, but at least attempt 1 kill, because you could just have a player run in and find 2 quick shots or something, and suddenly the round is actually doable. But yeah, this is asking a lot of Na'Vi in this retake. That's the risk of playing solo B on this map. Stacks can be so dangerous because retakes are so hard, and they are learning that the difficult way. Flamey dead, and with the first gunfight lost on that retake, Na'Vi just going to look to hold onto their armor and hold onto their kit. But at least this round is G2's. They're going to start to pull things back, Harry. They found their footing, and Existence to open up this round is the exact man we need to step up as well if we want G2 to have a strong T side.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, he hasn't really been having the game of his life, has he? They only been able to get away with 2 sets of armor and the kit on Zeus. And I think everyone actually took damage, maybe bar Electronic. So you can go for the armor upgrade and then still have a little bit of money left. And he's not going to go in and do that. So he picks up an MP9 and a smoke. Scout out for Simple. Mac 10's over on Smiths and Sharks. They're going to look to try and make money with that. Simple on this peek down through mid, though. This could be a chance to find an opener. Not going to spot anyone out just yet, as they all manage to get by.
Ooh. Those are always the most terrifying fights. Down mid on Inferno. Just the headshot angle. It's never easy to hit, but when you do, it can really set you off to some good footing, considering Na'Vi really don't have a lot to play with in this round, but they have found some damage from utility. Body and Existence tagged to 60 and 50 respectively. Na'Vi pulling a 3rd player over. Simple has joined the fray down on this B bomb site where G2 is showing early map control, but not committing to anything just yet. And I think because they've shown no one up in mid, no one in the apartments, Na'Vi are pretty comfortable with setting 3 players on this site. Although that is about to be a big mistake, because G2, it's all a ruse, Harry. They've walked back up towards this A site where it's pretty empty. Zeus trying to play contact on long. He's got the information once they cross, but he's going to have to call for some hefty rotations here, because if Na'Vi want to commit to this round, well, they're going to struggle, because they've only got 1 player on the right side.
Still, G2. Yeah, it is going to be they rotate Shocks around. He's just throwing in a fake towards that B-bomb site. It all falls onto Zeus. Okay. I was going to say, no one keeping an eye on this just yet. There we go. Kenny does check 4-man lurking in the smoke, and he finds Zeus.
And that's just a straight-up save.
Yeah. They look to try and hold on to all this, take it with you in the next round. That's pretty good if you can get away with it. You just have a second chance at going for this upset in round number 3.
Yeah, keeping a scout, got an SMG, bit of armor. Nothing to turn your nose up at if you're Na'Vi, and again, you still have a pretty hefty lead currently, but this is where G2 are going to start to peel their way back into this game, maybe. So 7 rounds here for the T side. Another anti-eco to come, Harry, but as we just alluded to, it's not going to be a typical anti-eco. Na'Vi still have these weapons and this armor. So G2, double difficult. Well, double the difficulty is probably a better way of saying that. That sounds a little bit, yeah, better.
Well, let's see, Hugo. Is this double difficult, or is it... I don't know. I can't think
extra
of another...
easy.
Yeah, there we go, that'll do.
All about that alliteration.
So, key person to keep your eye on this round over on the side of Na'Vi. I'd say it would be Simple with that scout who's able to keep it forward from the previous, and he's got a very, very good mid spawn. That's the reason I bring it up. He's going to go running in to try and find this early peek down through mid, looking through his scope. What does he see? He sees a Kenny. He's there. Not going to be able to find his AWPing counterpart over on the side of a G2.
I'm surprised he even backs off there as well, because they really need to force a kill. Okay, that suddenly comes through. Flamey blind kills Existence. And I mean, this is a round where Na'Vi need to, if they want to win it, they need to hunt for kills. They need to at least get a man advantage. And it seems like they're just settling back, waiting for G2 to come to them. And when you are up against rifles with pistols, yes, okay, you can sometimes win these rounds, but it's going to be way more decisive if Na'Vi can actually force a frag the way of the CT side. And so that's why I'm surprised Simple doesn't commit to the peak there. But either way, it's not a big loss. They still trade 1-for-1 on B. So Na'Vi's still doing damage, but it's a hard round to win, even with Existence dead. And to be honest, not to flame him, but if you want anyone dead here on G2, it is Existence, because he's not going to get any kills. So you'd be okay with that if you're G2. You've still got your big fraggers in the server, up and alive. Smoke's on that B site though, but the bomb's still committing towards A.
Yeah, Na'Vi, with only Electronic here, he had to find something if they wanted any chance in this round. Once again, I think it is just going to be the save call to come through.
Chilling.
Yeah, I mean, Zeus maybe, yeah, he's
dropped.
He's gone, mate. He's out.
Night. He only had a USP with no armor because, of course, he went down in that second round of the half. So it's not a big problem. It won't change the outcome of the round by a huge margin. I don't think Na'Vi would have won that anyway. That's always a shame.
RIP Zeus is just that little faith. He's already called GG. He's out the server. It's like every matchmaking teammate I seem to get, there's always one every game without fail.
Lose pistol, GG.
Lose pistol, GG. Insta leave, insta abandon. 12-year cooldown.
Hey, it could be worse. They could leave mid-game like you constantly.
I haven't done that in months, Hugo.
You still do it.
I am a dedicated fragger.
A big Deeger, they say.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, obviously a pause in here for Na'Vi after Zeus dropping from the server. We'll be waiting for him to get right back in. Probably won't be too long. These games have all started on time, Harry. We've had no delay so far. So it's only
Don't know
fair.
why you would say it. Because
yeah,
now I feel like,
yeah.
Now it's like, oh, guys, Zeus is, his PC's died, and every PC we plugged in kept dying. Now we're just stuck in an eternal loop. Zeus is playing on a laptop next door. But
Nintendo GameCube.
big fan. Thing is now, for Na'Vi, the pressure's going to start to become apparent. I mean, you might be on the CT side, but let's not forget, this was 8-0 at one point in time. Now the scoreline is 10-8. They have their first buy on the cards coming into this round to set the scene. They get to buy whatever they would like. Simple still has that scout. The curious thing for me is he just going to stay on that? I mean, I think you could definitely make the case for it. If they win the round, he can go for an AWP in the next. If not, he's got extra money. He could still go for an AWP, because Simple with an AWP is a terrifying thing to come up against, especially when you consider, we haven't really had what feels like an insane performance yet from Simple, but I think a lot of that comes down to AWPing on the T side is just so much harder, and a few AWPers can do it well. Simple is one of them, but now moving into the CT side, he's going to be that much more proficient with it.
I mean, we already saw multiple rounds in that first half where Simple actually employed the rifle over the AWP. In clutches he would drop the AWP, which makes sense, of course, if you're alone. But also in rounds where he had $7,000-8,000, he was just buying up AKs. And a lot of that's down to G2 not actually having an AWP. So on a map like Inferno, you don't always need to pull in an AWP on the T side. It's a lot of the time a counter to a CT AWP. And when Kenny doesn't have the money for it because it's 8-0 for Na'Vi, there's just no pressure to buy an AWP. You don't need that to get picks. Na'Vi were having such an easy time, and we could see as G2 started to pull back that first half, Simple started to go for these investments, pull out this AWP, because now they were struggling. But still, G2, pretty good first half, and they've found the anti-ecos to get them back in this game. It's just, can they capitalize on the rifle rounds?
Well, that's something else that's kind of scary now, is you take into account that Kenny was really one of the stars in that first half towards the end for G2.
Yeah, I know.
And that's on the CT side, right? Which, AWPing is way easier on. Now heading into the T side, the question kind of becomes is, can he keep the good times rolling, as it were? Or are we going to see him start to kind of pitter-patter off? Especially as Simple's going to be having a much easier time of things when he brings the AWP out every now and again. So, something that you brought up, I'd like to touch on. Smiths,
yeah,
he's doing pretty well. A nice return.
It's been impactful kills. I feel like the kills he's had in the first half, of course, mainly so. The kills he's had seem to be pretty round turning. I mean, he's getting a pick in a 3v3. That's important. And
stood behind them now for years, so it's he certainly knows the things they do wrong. So he's just like, you know what? I'll lead by example. I'll get in the server. Was it Smiths? I'm trying to... No, never mind. I was going to say there was that whole Kenny passing the AWP on, but that was to Sixer, and that's just a mess. But
let's just not think about that.
No. We'll just move on. But hopefully this unpause won't be taking too much longer. We can see the buy anyway in the meantime that's come through for Na'Vi.
We can have a bit of an update with the other game as well. I feel like this is a good time to jump into that.
This is the perfect time.
Of course, the A stream right now running Mousesports Gambit, if that's not already over. It is over. That's
I knew that much.
A big oof. A 16-8 to Mousesports, so they've taken a pretty convincing win. That's actually the closest game we've had today.
Yes.
Apart from this one, but it's not
Yes,
over just yet.
there
And
we
it
go.
could be a 16-8. You never know. Sunny dropping 23 kills, and really no one outlying for Gambit. 4 players sitting between 14 and 16 frags. Mir on 7 and 21. Bit awkward. But yeah, I don't know why Mir, like, he's just been signed to that team, right? Officially. His trial's over. He's actually signed to Gambit now. I don't want to say he's been underwhelming, but like obviously when you're on Vega and you're the top fragger there, it's like a different level because you're the best on your team. Then you move into a team with so much experience, and it's very hard to replicate that. We saw that with Electronic joining Na'Vi, right? He destroyed on Flipside because there was no one else. But then,
Have you seen this, by the way?
oh, what is that? Oh yeah.
This is the little
that.
Easter egg room. This, of course, is for those of you who are a child like me. This is what Counter-Strike used to be. Just sat in your tiny little wooden room on just a dining chair, because there wasn't gaming chairs back in the day.
Can we do a 360?
Nothing was comfortable.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is pretty much to scale.
That's like my attic.
And that's what you would play on. Now that is an old CRT monitor. They pretty heavy, pretty bulky. Look at that. Not flat screen. I had to be taught this, like I say. But and then there's some nice little drinks. What is that? What does that say? Something chicken.
Does it say no? Singing chicken.
Oh, that sounds good.
There we go.
I'll take a couple of them right now. I'll take a singing chicken and what's the name of the fries?
I think this is the problem. Zeus is trying to load into 1.6. That's why he's not here.
BW.
Buffalo wings.
Oh, that's it. That's it. You've cracked the code.
There we go.
You've cracked the code. Thank you for that one, Rush. That was nice. A nice little exploration for those who didn't know about that. I saw it on Reddit the other day for the first time, and I was like, "Ooh, that's a pretty interesting little room."
There's a lot of little cool things that Valve throws into this game.
Yeah.
Like the CZ.
I was going to say, most notably, tremendous amounts of effort to make this the best game in the world. Am I right, Hugo Byron?
I can agree. Right now, Valve are definitely on point.
Utterly fantastic. Shout out to Valve, I guess, for providing us with everything. I wouldn't have a job. It's a TY.
Be on the street, Harry.
I would, I don't have any other marketable skills. Yeah. I can eat a lot.
Can you eat the
But not like
the BWs?
But not like an impressive amount. That's the issue. Like I can just eat more than average.
So you can function as a normal human being.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like my skills are breathing, consuming oxygen.
I mean,
like that is breathing.
arguably
I was going to say water, but I don't know where oxygen came from.
Nice. You've
Thanks.
really nailed this insult, man.
Thank
I feel like I'm on the roast. What is it? Is it on like Comedy Central, right? But yeah, I love a good old roasting me. Be sure to go ahead and roast Hugo and I. Get at us on our various social medias.
Not too various. Pretty limited, if anything.
Leave me a YouTube comment. Go to my Facebook page.
Yeah. We are on Facebook as well, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Perfect.
I actually have a Facebook group. Do you?
No. Group. I have a page, but I don't
that's what I mean.
I don't
not a
use
group.
it.
Oh, I do. Occasionally. Just waiting.
Yeah, let's
come on, Hugo.
let's start talking about
inject some energy into this.
I'm standing up now.
You were sat down. You looked dejected. Your actions stopped midway through because you were preaching. There's been no problems this event, says Hugo Byron.
I know, the Jinx Master himself. Let's start talking about this event, though. Let's start talking about the storylines we have and the things we want to see, right? Obviously, looking at the teams, I think, for me, Ents is like the big question mark. That's okay, you're just going to talk about the skins and stuff.
No, yeah, sorry. I just love a good skin.
Big fan. I think Ents are the team for me that I really want to see succeed here. I'm excited to, of course, see Stiko and Cloud9. That will be a fun one.
Yeah.
I wonder how he'll fit into the team. Obviously, they've already won their first game, but it wasn't too much of a test. Kind of dispatched them NIP pretty quickly. Another question mark to me is Boot. They're up against FaZe, I think, next game after this. I think we're covering that as well. That's going to be a match that definitely keep your eyes on someone like Winter for, I would say. He's the Kazakh player that I think he's studying.
Oh.
Yeah? Oh, Zeus
is back.
Ah, there we go. I think he's studying in Singapore. Sorry, not Indonesia. Singapore, and that's why he's playing with Boot, which is pretty cool, to be honest.
So, Rush, how about tell everything? Oh wait, it's all on pause. Never mind. We're back in. Is this 100%? I see Zeus only has 1900. Maybe we need to match medic that, or maybe the The UI isn't updated yet. Only time will tell.
Yeah, he's got a... no, he hasn't got a gun. I'm just wondering if it's... Yeah, I think it's a UI.
Yeah, that is a UI thing. So that'll get fixed. That's fine. You know, these things happen. If someone unexpectedly drops out, an electronic, oh my goodness, he's going to be dropping into mid. He hears everything, and he lines up 2 kills. Smith's in existence. They're already gone. As Kenny got to get beheaded. The MP9 up close is a beast to contend with its body and Shocks with the bomb on their back. They go charging it towards this A bomb site. Flamey's managed one, and now it's Body to try and turn the tide. A couple of players tagged up low. That's going to be Zeus and Electronic.
Oof. And simple. Coming in from the site, Na'Vi will pick up that round. I like the pace there as well, especially after like a 10-minute pause where you have, you know, just sitting around theorizing G2 like, okay, this is our plan. You know they have a game plan coming into that round. You know they're going, okay, we'll set up, we'll do this, etc. They know exactly what their role is, and Na'Vi just completely uproot it by running down middle and getting in their face. That's something you really can't account for if you're G2. So nice setting of the pace in that rifle round for Na'Vi, and this is where G2 need to bounce back, right? They're already behind in rounds. They did win that pistol and find the conversions, but the first rifle has not been theirs, so they need to bounce back with a reset, or Na'Vi could be really sending them home. Well, not literally, but in this map at least.
Well, they're going to be aggressing up here a bit. Over towards B bomb site, rather. Simple down in CT. Edward going to be boosting himself up. Bombs dropped in apartments for G2. Or rather just outside of apartments. That's going to be retrieved by Kenny. They leave Smiths to try and sell a fake at this B bomb site. Oh, actually, now that he's found Simple, Temptation's going to be there to grab that bomb. Quickly traded by Edward. Let's cancel it out. Ooh, Body smokes there, but he still is able to dispatch a Flamey. Kenny, in the meantime, down through Boiler. Man advantage for G2. Zeus and Electronic inside of this A bomb site about to be tested by the Frenchman. And then there's Kenny emerging from his hidey hole. Just plucks Zeus from long. The second man down in pit. Electronic falls. It's Edward left in a 1v4.
And no real hope here. Body's posted on the smoke. He's going to get shot right through it. Not quite tagged. Grabs the AK, runs for the hills. Safe call. The bomb's down for G2. The round is guaranteed. And Shocks is already looking to send Edward packing. So chasing him down towards the CD spawn, making sure everything's clear first, because he doesn't know where Edward is exactly. But it's the ruins where he tries to hold on to. It's only about 30 seconds left of this round as well, so it's totally doable considering only Shocks is hunting. All Edward needs to do is win one duel, or at least hide from it. I don't think Shocks is going to overcommit here. No reason throwing away your life for just one kill. You know Na'Vi are going to be struggling with money in the next round anyway. If we look at this cash here on the CT side, it's so weak. Electronic with $0, Flamey with 900. They're only getting 1,400 loss as well, because that is the reset that we required from G2. They needed to win this round. Otherwise, Na'Vi are not only up to 12, but G2 have no money, and Na'Vi start to run away with this game. So very important round won by G2 there. And of course, Na'Vi may be tempted to buy with a bit of money left in their pockets. But really, you know, it's a decision that you can't even argue with either way, right? If they force here, it's okay because they've been reset, and it's like, okay, you got a double eco anyway after that. But if they eco this, I think that's equally fine. And the fact that we've got players like Simple and Edward on 4K means that I think they should throw in some pistols. They should eco this one, buy next. But I wouldn't be, you know, confused if they actually force this issue.
Let's wait and see. As the tactical pause comes to a close, it's just going to be the eco. They buy up a couple of nades on the guys that can't afford it. And they look to try and employ perhaps a bit of a nade stack. You can throw them out early on. You notice it's Simple and Flamey picking those up. So be sure to keep an eye on that. And how things are set up right now, Edward looks like he's going to head over here towards his P-bomb site. 4 players heading over there, actually, with Electronic solo holding A. Warp out for Kenny. Going to be looking over here towards the top of Banana. The nades still yet to rain in, waiting till the timing is picture perfect. Decent damage done. My goodness, that was just one nade in from Zeus. The second doesn't do anything.
I like that from Na'Vi as well. They show presence on B, they show the nade stack, and then they rotate all their players off. It's a risk, but again, it's a round that you can afford to do this, because if you lose it, it's not really a big problem, and you can just hold on to these guns for another try. But yeah, G2 now tempted towards that A site that's so stacked. 4 players in position, a 5th considering it. Even if Zeus is still stuck on that B site, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, because we have enough manpower here for Na'Vi to hold this round off. They've just got to hit their shots. G2 have a load of utility, though. And with a minute still on the clock, they've got time to make their decision. No need to rush and commit towards a site. And so they look to take map control back towards B. And this could bait players off of that A site from Na'Vi. This could make them rotate. And, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad decision. We just got to see where this bomb goes.
It looks like it's going to be A with how things are going right now. You still have that presence over at short, courtesy of Kenny. This is going to be the play. 4 players here for Na'Vi, including that rifle on Edward. This could get very, very sloppy and simple. The man to open up, quickly going to be traded, courtesy of Smiths, but maybe Electronic both fall Edward there with that 1 rifle, only good for 1 kill, leaving Zeus in a 1v2. Only a CZ rather, so he's going to try his luck, but Kenny plucks him off through the smoke, and G2 going to find themselves a 10th round.
It's amazing to see G2 not faltering in these positions as well, right? They walk into a stack, they walk into 4 players on A, and then equipped to the teeth Na'Vi in terms of having, you know, pistols, having a rifle, even the pick the way of Na'Vi, and further damage onto Smiths in existence from that utility. And still G2 get out of there with 2 players surviving. That's pretty impressive, to be honest. And even with existence still sitting on 4 kills, this team is not struggling to pull the game back. He may not be leading in frags, but in terms of strategy, G2 are playing the right game. This is currently looking like they could pull this back into their favor here. And again, for those who maybe just joined, don't be confused by Zeus's lack of weaponry or money. He has bought up, it's just a UI bug, so hopefully they'll be getting sorted. But for now, G2 starting to pull this game back, and Wallbang just tagging Simple. He just sits on B, awaiting this push.
My goodness. Shock's just going to get wall banged there. Nice little spam spot. Be sure to use that in your matchmaking games. When you get many a frag from it, you can thank Electronic. But G2 going to be setting up to play into this A bomb site. Kenny is the spearhead once again. He's been key with this AWP. AWPing on the T side is something we always talk about as being much harder, but for some players, they're very proficient at it. Kenny is definitely one of them. Now, Shock's challenged early on. Does get tagged down low. They're going to start to make their way through long. Flamey's held off the angle. The smoke's down, and they're going to go rushing on by. He hasn't spotted anything yet, and now they're going to start to wrap into this bomb site. He leaves all the pressure on Electronic and Zeus. Electronic from the pit. So much work to do. Body flanking round. Up onto the top of Graveyard. Tagged up by Flamey and finished off. Smiths is swift on the return, but Zeus emerging from the apartments. They can't seem to tangle with Smiths. He's going to double down. Simple arriving very, very late from B. Zeus is going to get hunted, and while he manages 1, Electronic is the man to pull things back. It's Shock's left 1 versus 2. Electronic and Simple to overcome, and Shock's beheads Simple on the rotation. It's Electronic, and he has to be electric 1v1 to try and find Shock's, and he's going to get the job done. 3 kills, the hat-trick for him. A monstrous performance. No kit, though. This is going to be a little bit close, but he does have time. Na'Vi find themselves the 12th round.
That's amazing from Electronic. He climbs up on top of the box there on the site to get a completely off angle to that last player. No way they're going to expect it. And Smiths, try as he might, 2 kills there, locking down the bomb site and killing those A-site players, you know, meaning Na'Vi have to play with rotations. Still can't get the job done. It's Na'Vi to pick up that rifle round, finally going back in their favor. Been a couple here for G2 to make this game look a little closer than it was earlier on. Again, for those who weren't here, 8-0 start for Na'Vi before G2 eventually pulled it back to a 5-10 half in favor of the CT side currently, Na'Vi. And now we do have the buy again from G2 because money has been made, but it hasn't been saved, Harry. No cash left in the banks after this purchase, so it's all down to this one. If they lose this, not only do Na'Vi get 13, but then they anti-eco to 14 before G2 even buy up again. So that's where things get very, very difficult. G2 again in another round, kind of not a must-win. They do have another buy to fall back on before Na'Vi hit map point, but this is one that if G2 can win, it really relieves a lot of the pressure of this game so far, because Na'Vi are looking like they might be able to swing back in control of this game.
They most certainly are. It's going to be a lot of it falling onto this very round, and here's Zeus holding his own. He's going to be able to do a decent bit of damage, even tags up Body there towards the very end. Smiths, once again, 2 kills. Body going to manage one through the smoke, and now only Edward left alive on this flank round with an MP9.
Where has this come from? Edward has such a big task to do, and he doesn't have the weaponry to take this fight against Smiths. A smoke will actually work in his favor because it allows him to get close and maybe grab a kill onto the player on the site. Body's already tagged up, so Edward, different angle approach, but Smiths just not committing. He's just playing good CS, just playing safe. As Edward tries to get in closer, the flash over the top, Smiths again not peeking. Edward throws out his own smoke, and Smiths uses that timing to peek out and get more information, and even the kill to boot. I mean, Edward was just waiting for someone to overface there from G2, but because Body was tagged on the site, he just hid in the corner and just baited, allowing Smiths to get that frag. So G2 not overstepping the mark, and in fact, they're going to win that round, Harry. A CZ was on shocks in it. They didn't have a lot of money left up. So very important, and G2 will make it work. And look at the result of that for Na'Vi. They have been crushed economically, and probably morale. That's the word.
Yeah.
I was going to say morally, but that's not a word. Morally. Yeah, again, out
It's
of context.
fine, you know, it's, you've nailed it, I think.
Thank you.
You know, really stuck
I appreciate
the landing. 12 to 11. Yeah, this was 8-0 at one point in time in favor of Na'Vi. And that round looked like it should have been their round. I thought Zeus had done enough. He gets those 2 kills. He maybe overextends a bit trying to go for the third, but you know, you get the bloodlust going. You know, you've isolated a player over there at short. Right now, it's Smiths once again coming in with these big impact kills. Yeah. He's top of the board. He's showing that, you know, the old dog that a lot of people are kind of wrote off, if you recall, even towards, you know, the end of his time with this roster was like he fell off a lot, right? Yeah. And a lot of people thought, you know, you were kind of already tapering off when you quit. Like, you know, how good are you going to be when you come back? And he's looking great right now.
And when you look at this roster of G2 and you go, okay, who's going to be top fragging in their opening game? You go, okay, it's Inferno, Shocks, Kenny. These are the players we look to. Maybe even Body to some extent. Smiths, not who I would expect. Not going to lie. 18 kills, looking fantastic. Again, hunting for openers, and he's been so good at this. Locking down the A site, but now he's got to be testing down towards B, where Na'Vi have 3 players sat in wait. The Eagle on Simple. Dangerous at the worst of times. Although Na'Vi not having the best of times right now, although they're in the lead, this has been a huge comeback ensued by G2. And frankly, this game should have already been done if Na'Vi, you know, closed out that massive advantage they've had, but G2 have not been letting up with this pressure. Bit of damage done early on via utility to Existence and Smiths, but other than that, they are seeming pretty okay with this. I noticed these 2 players are constantly doubling up as well. Whenever we see utility damage, it's always onto those 2 players. And there's a peek down through the apartments. Electronic going to get double-faced from middle, and he'll go down. Flamey does retreat, but because of the flashbang of G2, he cannot trade his teammate. The smoke makes it impossible as well. But still Body throwing in utility. May bait Flamey to go forward. He finds it. There's something for Na'Vi, but still the push is coming down to B. And that's where 3 players are sat. That's where things could get very, very difficult. Flamey almost winning another duel. And now G2, 20 seconds left. Desperation ensuing.
That smoke could be the thing that ends this all for G2. 20 seconds, and they're going to try and make the run. Now, they can't afford to check corners here. They just have to run in and get that bomb down, and they're going to be allowed to. No one from Na'Vi inside of this A-bomb site. It was looking like it would have been a train wreck there for G2, but a fast call towards the end of the round means that they just get the bomb down in the nick of time. And now 3v4 in the retake for Na'Vi with just pistols to their name. This round feels like it's all over. Zeus has worked his way into this position down through short, but he should get dropped. That's Kenny from the pit to go ahead and get rid of him. Simple. And Edward left alive. They're going to call this on quit, start to back off. 12 to 12, all tied up here. As this game looks like it wants to go the distance, Hugo.
And a convincing round from G2. Lots of players kept alive. Money, of course, has been a bit of an issue for them coming back and forth, right? We've seen constant resets this second half for both teams. So, yeah, G2 getting a very confident round. Means they have cash to fall back on in the future, and Na'Vi lacking exactly that. It's 27, 28, 33. Harry, they've gone to the bank and they've come up empty-handed. They won't be given a loan. They've just got to wait a little bit longer, one more round before they're going to have the cash to fully commit to this. They save a MAC-10, a couple of pistols here and there, but it's G2 surely finding their 13th round. As difficult as that did look for them, you know, they had a man advantage, but they were about to walk into a full B stack that Na'Vi would have surely won. At least I would like to think so, considering the time and the amount of desperation that G2 would have to you know, be aware of. They've got to get that bomb down, they've got to focus on that, but with Na'Vi having so many crossfires from the CT spawn to the site, that could have certainly been a trembling round for the French. But now, this is where they should start to build up a little bit more confidence. Surely Na'Vi won't be able to win this one.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Simple. Here he is. Luckily enough, he's tagged down to 50 HP, and there we go, finished off by Smiths.
He trades back out to the MAC-10 after getting that kill. I love it.
Well, Smiths is feeling good right now, and I think, you know, with good reason. He's already cleared out this bomb site for his teammate. Kenny going to be coming on in the bomb, rotating up through Banana on the back of body. So it goes down and nullify this position from Flamey. And for Na'Vi, awkward decision now is, what is the plan here? You imagine they just stick around and try and go for it. They might give Smith some more money. But maybe they land a couple of nice shots and make something happen. But no, they're just going to back away and save. Zeus going to go for the Zeus kill. Zeus with the Zeus.
Oh. I mean, you can't stand that far away.
He was stood very far away.
Yeah, right. Smith did back into the corner, which made things harder. But like, you're not even on the right angle there if you're Zeus. You need to be way closer.
Yeah, it might be the god of lightning, but it doesn't give you actually, you know, any further reach with the taser. Because
should be able to do that with his hands.
Yeah, they're mental, innit? Why even bother buying one? Why not just zap them from space? Why even playing the game?
Well, Na'Vi,
uncharacteristically right now for Na'Vi, simple.
Yeah.
Bottom of the board, that's something to pay attention to.
Wow.
Top of the board for G2, Smiths. So if someone would have screenshotted this, say like, you know, if you travelled from now to the back to, I don't know, 20...
Back to the future.
Back to the future, yeah. If you travelled back, you know, like mid-2017, and I showed you this picture, Smiths out fragging, simple. What would you think? What would be your reaction to that, Hugo? How would you feel emotionally?
I'd say, why is Smiths playing? I thought he was a coach.
Yeah, exactly. Mental, isn't it? But
13-12, Harry.
Yeah.
This is actually happening.
That was a nice bit of role play, wasn't it? It was good. Not scripted, of course.
Yeah, we've got our producers writing down lines as we speak.
Working over there.
Very hard.
All volunteers.
13-12 here for G2. We've got the AWP up for both teams, but it's actually Flamey taking it for the CT side. We don't have Simple on that AWP. Bit of a surprise there, but maybe he's not feeling it with only having 15 kills. Not that Flamey's much higher, but maybe having a better game. And again, the level that we hold Simple to is hard to keep up every game, so it's understandable. Although this is probably going to lose Na'Vi the match if they can't at least have someone step up here, because G2 are back in the driving seat, 13 rounds up, an advantage. 4 players though on this A site, Harry, and it seems like G2 aren't messing around with any slow map control this time. They want to walk their way up towards A, and that's where Na'Vi could start to find success, especially if Flamey can open this up with a free pick. He's found his way into middle. Smiths is there, but the bomb's dropped around the corner, and Flamey's opened it up, looking back for a second, and Flamey's locking it down. Maybe a third tag comes through, but they find their way into the pit, and Simple starts to decapitate them one by one. Second kill coming through for Simple. Bomb drop once again, and it's Shocks to try and pull them out of this mess, but it's not going to happen. Na'Vi do pick it up. Zeus finishing off that round, and finally Na'Vi are back on the board.
Yeah, all we needed was for Flamey to shut them down with the AWP. Someone else starts getting kills on the side of Na'Vi, and naturally Simple's survival instinct kicks in, and he just starts wrecking heads as well. And it was Zeus to finish things off. Good round there from Na'Vi. 13-13. This game is going to go the distance. We're going to go the full 30 rounds, which is always fun. I'm just calling that.
Yeah, that's an assumption.
It's gonna be good.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an OT here.
I think very promising signs of that, Hugo.
Ooh, first time we've seen Banana Control taken, I think this entire map really, like with actual utility. I don't think G2 even did it once on their CT side. Na'Vi were just so incessant to take bottom of Banana every single time. So we've actually seen now Na'Vi push their players down. Edward caught out, good angle from Shocks. And not going to expect that. And G2, that's a free pick. That's the best pick to have if you're G2, because it's not tradable, or at least not easily, because it's such a close angle. And G2 may even walk back towards B, where only Simple sits. If Kenny S can find this shot on the jumping man himself, This may be another opening. He spots him. Can't follow up. Molotov down. Simple peeks in. He's getting aggressive, and Existence gets burnt to a crisp.
Flamey. Gonna come up, trumps over Kenny. He wins the clash of the Orpers. Smith's out in mid though in the meantime. Does dispatch of Zeus. Electronic. It's on to him to trade. Flamey's repositioned, being a real nuisance for G2. But they're going to back away. They're going to start to head over here towards this B-bomb site. You still have to get past Simple, and that is not an easy task, even when he has been struggling a little bit in this matchup. Not the man you want to come face-to-face with. Inside of this B-bomb site, the utility starts to rain in. Rotations coming through from the rest of Na'Vi. And Simple to try and hold the line. Existence first to fall. Simple, still more work to do through the smoke. The flash is there, but Smith's, he's the kryptonite to Simple.
And 1 HP as well. Doesn't even falter with the shot. Surely Simple had that kill dead to rights, but now G2, an opportunity to close out this post plant. Shox is going to have to go huge, though. He can't rely on his teammate who's already tagged up, and that angle is perfect. Lets Electronic walk by and re-peeks back in. Smiths even cleans it up, and it's done. G2 win their 14th round. Smiths with 1 HP finds 3 kills. This man is insane. 23 kills.
That's the reset for Na'Vi. Such an important round over on the side of G2 to pick up. Existence still with 4 kills to his name. That just shows you how much work the other guys are doing right now on the side of G2. I'm actually in awe.
Really well,
yeah, he is. Yeah. The calls, they were pretty...
These rotates have been really nice.
They were pretty poor early on, but I think a lot of that came from the whole idea of like Zeus being in his head. It was like every call seemed to be wrong, and it's like when you get into that headspace, if you keep having success, you're more likely to keep being successful. And if you keep struggling until you break out of that with one correct call, you know, you're going to keep struggling.
And it is CT side as well, which is obviously not hard to call on, but very different. Like Existence has always been a T side caller in the sense of setting up his team for success, having defaults like good rotations, nice mid-round calls, and so they've been doing that. These rotates between the sites and this map control being taken from G2 is pretty nice. Even though Na'Vi take deep B control in the previous round and actually get a lot of damage off of it with Simple, it goes nowhere. It's still G2 to win it. And now forcing the issue to stay in this map is Na'Vi. They've got to win this round or this could be over before it even, well, before they even buy. In the sense of like they're just going to be forcing till this game's done. Body takes down Zeus up in the apartments. Already a man advantage for G2, and still Smiths is remaining on this B bomb site with Existence close by. Flamey, this is not a peek you want to take with an SMG, but Simple's got the angle for it instead. Smiths is dead. Smoke can go down as well. That will cut off this trade ability for Existence, who can't walk back in. And they can even secure the gun as well, so Simple is now armed to the teeth and dangerous as ever.
Yeah, that's mental that you can just run through the smoke and grab the AK. They're still looking dedicated towards this B-bomb site. Currently, this is where every single player is for Na'Vi. And they're going to go walking into the meat grinder. No. Here he is, Simple, the butcher, tearing them apart. Shock's going to manage one. Back in return, are they ready for Flamey, who resides down in first oranges? They're most certainly not. As him and Electronic, they combine final 3 kills between them. Na'Vi straight back, 14-14, and now the money problems reside on the side of G2.
If Na'Vi now go 16-14, that will be the most upsetting game for G2. They have put themselves in the best position in that previous round. Getting the reset to find 14 rounds is so important, and not only did G2 do it, now Na'Vi have done the exact same thing. A single rifle, make that 2-3 now. They've got a Galil. They've really gone cheap here, Harry. It's discount, it's budget. But will they be able to get it done? CZ, P250, Na'Vi armed well. We don't have that AWP back on, well, I was going to say Simple, but Flamey so far this map has been taking it more so in this second half. We do have the rifles to play with, the weapons to fight back with on Na'Vi. As G2 look to take this app's control, the bomb's still down towards the T-spawn, so this is hardly a commitment. They're just looking to set up initially, get their players into position. Body looking for this pick out of the apartments, but he doesn't want to overcommit. No one wants to be the man to make the first mistake in this crucial round. Because anyone who goes down here, the first to fall is going to be kicking themselves.
Yeah, I mean, this is unreal. It's been so back and forth, and it all comes down to this. Zeus is holding close over in mid. There's no one nearby to trade, so he's relying a lot on just his sheer aim, and they don't check it. That would have been such a big kill to find. Now, Body going to manage one. It all falls on a Flamey inside of the bomb site, and he falls at the hands of Existence. We're into the 3-on-3. Na'Vi could even justify maybe considering saving if things really don't start to go their way soon. And Simple from atop this man-made tower does find damage onto existence, but it's going to be returned in spades. And at this point, I think if you're Na'Vi, it's a pretty bitter pill to swallow, but I think you have to go for this save. 2 versus 3.
I don't know. I'd say go for it. They've got a kit. There's not a lot of time left, though. That is the problem. The bomb's already half ticked. Na'Vi, they're convinced they're going to at least give it a little bit of a peer. But no, I think you might be right. I think with no pick presenting itself, they realize G2 have crossfires within the site from the apps to the pit, and that will... from the site to the pit, but that will just not happen. Na'Vi have to fall out. They have to give G2 the round. That's 15 taken. You're right, Harry. I thought for a second that would be a round that Na'Vi should attempt, but again, with the money in a state, it's not going to work out for them. G2 do find it, losing a man to the bomb, but winning the round. And look how back and forth this has been. The last 5 rounds won by different opponents. 4, I mean. But still, G2 now in the driver's seat once again. It's been a back and forth affair, but Na'Vi don't have the weaponry to contend. While they've won a round exactly like this just 2 ago with pistols, they've got to do it again, Harry.
Yeah, asking for this one. So, I mean, the buy isn't all too bad with those scavenged weapons from the previous round. You have the rifle on Simple, rifle for Electronic, the others on MP7 and UMP. They do have something at least. Now Smiths leading the charge, going to go running the way of Simple. Edward is here to try and back him up. Try and bait them into the peak and then allow Simple to slam down the gauntlet. Flamey even waiting with a flashbang. Flash is over. Simple takes the peak. Doesn't spot anyone yet, so he's going to keep on testing his ground. And Smiths, well, he goes ahead. Finds the opener on a Simple. Zeus gets caught out in apartments in the meantime, and G2, they might be able to do it here. And now 3 versus 5 for Na'Vi. They have to find something to get them back into this game. 50 seconds on the clock. And 5 men to find if they want to carry this through to OT. Let's not forget, Na'Vi were up 8-0 at one point in time. Now G2 about to walk over the finish line. Just 3 men stand between them and a win here.
It's all on this kill. If Electronic can find the frag, he may be able to turn the tide of battle, but there's 2 players in the apartments and Shocks will deck him. Flamey left on the site, but he's being wrapped from the apps hands short. They're going to overwhelm him here. He's got to go massive, and there's almost 2. Shocks down to 20 HP, but surely this is too much to ask for Edward. A 1v4. G2 having the bomb down. Edward left to retake. This game looks to be done for Na'Vi unless he can pull out one of the most phenomenal clutches I've ever seen. And I don't think G2 will be giving it up too easily. This new roster is starting to look fantastic here in Cologne, and they are going to be winning their opening game. The closest match we've had so far, 16-14 to G2. And what a game that was, Harry.
Yeah, what a comeback from G2. That is monumental. And what a showing from Smith. Out of action for so long and then just comes back top of the board. He looks fantastic. You know, I mean, he's just like a big middle finger to Dust Lorette as well from him. He loves it. Everything going the way of G2. Meanwhile, for Na'Vi, great showing initially. That 8-0 score, and they look great. I mean, they finished the half 10-5. It kind of slips a little bit. And they just never felt like they recovered. They never got that momentum back. Simple started to struggle a bit and then recovered towards the very end. I'm not really sure where the problems lie. I don't even think, really, you look at Na'Vi and say they were having massive problems. I just think G2 stepped up.
Yeah, no, they looked very good. I mean, there were definitely mistakes, but a lot of them were, you know, when we saw Na'Vi have really nice setups and have stacks on sites, and then G2 just went for the right rotations, just made really good calls. So yeah, Existence, at least individually, didn't really step up and put up a crazy amount of frags, but he was making all the right calls. It seems like G2 never actually walked and committed into any kind of stack from Na'Vi. They always had the read, or they always rotated just before. So yeah, there were some very close rounds and some moments that looked like Na'Vi could have actually run away with that game, especially in the second half. But hey, G2, a deserved win nonetheless. They looked pretty fantastic, and now going forward, I'm already expecting big things from them here in Cologne. They've won their opening game, which, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting.
Yeah, no, I mean, coming into it, I thought Na'Vi would kind of have their way with G2 and it would just be like, oh, well, you know, G2, they kind of said, they kind of said, like, you know, they're going to be a slow building team, but I think it's already showing a lot of signs of promise, and I think that's kind of good with, that's one of the reasons why I like it when they bring in someone like Smith, because he was
good back in the day. He kind of started to fall off a bit, right, and was doing pretty bad when he kind of stepped away and went into that coaching role. But he's still been so involved with the team. He knows the players really well. He's got a wealth of experience, a very, very good role player. And even then, right, like now, apparently top fragger. He can add that onto his resume. But we're going to go ahead and throw this one over to a break, and then we'll be back with more Counter-Strike.
Incendiary out.